Hi everyone, so I am working on a painting today. So I just thought I would share it with you. I did this a couple of weeks ago and I've kind of just let it marinate a bit. And I feel like I want to go on with some pastels. And that is exactly what I'm going to do. So I've put down a pastel ground over the top. So I've worked on paper with acrylic. And I've put the pastel ground down, and that just creates a bit of a tooth for the pastels to go on top of. And I just think I'm just going to have a bit of a play. I feel like I want to just block in some bits over here, so that's what I'm going to do. And the nice thing with pastels is they just have a lovely richness to them. So I'm going to just start grabbing some here. I'm just blocking in, so just using the edge of the pastel. So pastel isn't the medium that I use the most, but I do sometimes like to just finish off some pieces. If I'm working on paper, I sometimes just like to bring those in. Yeah, I think it's just nice sometimes to just experiment and, you know, just go for it. Don't worry. Always worry about the end result. So I love this sort of turquoise colour. I'm just going to pop a bit of that down. The thing with pastels is they are pure pigment, so you've just got a lovely richness to them. Just pop down a little bit more this colour here. I like this sort of, there we go. And, you know, vary up the marks as well. Sometimes, you know, you want long marks. Sometimes you want to kind of use the edge of the pastel. Same with brushes and painting, really. You just have to vary it up a little bit so that it doesn't become too repetitive. So I don't want to use too much of that colour. It's quite nice. You can just see how just sometimes those marks can make quite a difference. So let's bring in some of these lovely yellows. So I want a warm yellow. So you can see here you've got this warmer sort of cadmium yellow, and then you've got this cooler sort of lemon yellow. And I'm going for quite a warm theme here, so I'm going to bring in some of that lovely warm yellow. It just pops. So I'm going to grab some of this more golden colour first. Yeah, this is fun. I think the thing I like about pastels as well is that you get messy. I mean, to be honest with you, I get messy with any medium I use. In fact, my husband's always saying, "How have you got paint on the back of your head?" Well, easily done, easily done. But the thing I do like is it's very tactile. It's very direct. It's very messy. So I don't want to go too crazy with this yellow, just like the little pops of it. I normally bring this up onto the easel so that I can step back a bit, but I just really wanted to do this to show you rather than getting all the cameras out and everything. So I think I'm going to go for some bigger, chunkier marks. So let's grab some of this light colour here. So I'll break that mark up there because it's a bit long. That's fine. See, you can just change it. You know, sometimes you just have to go for these things. Don't worry about, you know, I could ruin it, or I'm a bit worried about it not going right. You have to be brave enough to just allow yourself to just experiment and play. A bit of pink on there. This is the fun of working as an artist, is not being afraid to try something and it go wrong. And don't get me wrong, you know, it doesn't always work out. You know, not every piece is a success. And that's fine. I'm fine with that because it's all part of the process. Whoopsie. And then you break your pastels. But look at that little bit of red. Nice. I'm trying to step back. Let's bring some of that green out a bit more. It's just, look at that. Juicy. Just adds that lovely little pop. And then I can, you know, I can sit with it, or I can do a bit more to it. I'm just going to find a lighter. Yeah. It's just building layers as well. You know, it just adds more interest when you start to build up the layers. Becomes less flat. Just some little pops of pink's quite nice. Let's see. Let's see if we got a deep purple, sort of bluey colour. I feel like I want to cover a bit of this area over here. And again, this is a sort of a should you, shouldn't you kind of thing, but on the basis of what I've told you to do, as in just go for it, I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to just cover up some areas and some purples. Just kind of pushing some of those bits back a little bit. And it might merge a bit with the other pastel that's underneath. That's okay. This is just really an experimental piece, to be honest. Create a little bit of a hazy look. Okay. I might get a little bit of water and just kind of go over some of those marks. You see how it's just kind of blending a bit with the pastels. Yeah, I think it just needed to bring some of that down a bit. Okay, so and then I can go back in and let that dry a bit. Just bringing a bit more of the yellow in there. Because now it directs the attention down here a bit more. It's nice, that sharp bit of yellow. Maybe a bit of orange. You know, and sometimes you'll make these marks and they won't work out. But that's the good thing, is you can just layer and move things and change things around. But you have to be willing to make a bold move if you think it might benefit the picture. And not be afraid of ruining it. So I'm going to work into these just a bit more. Again, just to break up. It's still a bit wet. It's got a different feel to it when it's wet. Bring a bit of light in here. It's just got just a couple of little, you know, the light coming through the trees, but it's just works a bit better because I've blocked it in now. Okay, let's just have a little, maybe a couple of little marks, little liner marks. See, I love different materials for different reasons. I don't, you know, just stick to one necessarily. I work with acrylics a lot, but you know, I love pastels. I love oils. See, now I feel like it's coming alive a bit more. And one of the things I like to do is to walk away and come back with fresh eyes, because you often see things that you sort of miss when you're working on top of it a lot. I'll also pop it on the easel and then just sort of step back and have a little think. That orange, how that pops next to that blue. I don't want to get too carried away with the colours, but I just love that. Oh, look at that red, she says as she starts putting down more colours. Just a couple of little zings here and there. And yeah, I think I'll probably marinate on that for a bit. looks nice. Little sparkles of the pink here and there. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that. I always say that and then I just start making more marks. I think sometimes when you're enjoying the process, you don't want to stop, so you just keep going and going and going. But you have to say to yourself, Michelle, step away, give it some space, come back, and then we can reassess. Otherwise, you're going to keep making marks like you're doing now, and you're going to go too far. So my hands are muddy anyway, so I'm going to leave that for a bit. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that process with you of just thinking about how you can maybe find a piece that you've already got and maybe how you can change it, because this was, it was fine as it was, but I just felt like it needed just something else. And sometimes that's where you can bring in other materials, or you can make some big changes and not be afraid to do that. And sometimes it works out for the best and sometimes it doesn't, but that's all part of the fun. You have to just allow yourself to do that. So hopefully you found that useful. Maybe you've had a painting that you've just gone all in, or maybe you're going to dig out a painting that you've felt needed something and you're going to do something bold to it. Let me know in the comments. It'd be really interesting to see if this resonated with you or if you found this useful. So happy painting.